Hello, dreamers! Are you ready to transform your life? Welcome to Shah of Saint Augustine, Living the Dream. I'm Amber Shah, your wellness expert and local realtor, passionate about empowering you to live your best life. From uplifting health tips and exciting travel adventures to stunning Florida home tours, this channel is your go-to for inspiration and insights into the 8 dimensions of wellness. Hit that subscribe button and let's embark on this transformative journey together. This episode of Financial Wellness is co-hosted by Sam Royer, a mortgage loan originator and advocate for the HELPER Act.
Hi, I'm Sam.
Hi, I'm Amber Shah, the Shah of Saint Augustine, and welcome to the Saint Augustine Wellness Insights. Today, we're going to be talking about financial wellness and VA loans for veterans, as well as the HELPER Act. This is Sam Royer. He is responsible for bringing the HELPER Act to America these days. He's spreading the word all over the place. Welcome, Sam.
Hi. I gotta give you props. You just nailed that.
Thank you so
much.
much.
You don't even have a teleprompter. That's
I
awesome.
don't.
So good job.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody.
Hi. All right. So, Sam, first and foremost, please tell me, what is a VA loan?
Oh, it's not a loan in Virginia, but you can get one there. It's just about the VA thing. But VA loan is just a loan that...
Because we're in Florida, we don't care what's going on in Virginia anyways.
I don't care what's going on in Virginia.
I'm saying I don't, because I'm in Florida.
A VA loan is very simply just a mortgage that, well, it's actually a government backing for lenders that if you served in the military, or you're currently in the military and you were honorably discharged, or you're currently serving honorably, you can get 100% financing, no monthly mortgage insurance, and it's the most affordable, best mortgage in the world.
That's fantastic. So what would you say are some benefits to a VA loan for a veteran who would be considering a VA loan over an FHA first home buyers program?
Well, FHA has a lot of nuances, but it's awesome as well. However, FHA, you can actually have more than one FHA loan, whereas you're not a first-time home buyer. Like I had an FHA loan when I had a conventional loan at the same time. But FHA versus VA, they're like night and day. And what I mean by that is that FHA requires you to put a 3.5% payment for a down payment, whereas VA doesn't require you to have anything. FHA also has a monthly mortgage insurance, where VA doesn't. Now, the benefit of an FHA loan, FHA has been around since 1934. And the reason FHA is, if you ever saw the movie A Wonderful Life, when everybody ran on the bank, that's basically what FHA was kind of set up to stop happening with regard to home loans. So then the VA actually came out in 1944, and it actually originally was only for World War II veterans. So if you served in World War I, you couldn't get a VA loan. It's kind of crazy. But so both of those mortgages are government-backed mortgages, whereas we as a lender, if we lend to you an FHA or a VA loan, the government is actually ensuring that if you don't make that mortgage payment, there's a protection in there for us as a lender to lend you that money.
All right, great. So in that event, shifting a little bit, how does the HELPER Act partner with the VA loan, or does it?
Well, it doesn't, but it's kind of carbon copy of the VA. So as a Marine veteran myself, I always found it struggling for myself that I never served in combat, which is a good and a bad thing. Good thing because there's many people that have. And thank God that we are not in massive conflicts now. But what happens is that for years, 28 years I've been in lending, I've sat across people, teachers, cops, firefighters, those that serve in our community, that they don't go into those jobs to get rich. They don't go into those jobs to think that one day they're going to be a millionaire from their paychecks. They go in because they care about the kids. They care about this building burning down. They care about just law and order. And what I struggled with was that they didn't have an affordable product like I did as a military member. So the HELPER Act kind of got born out of that. And what it does, it kind of takes the best parts of VA, but it's an FHA loan, or it will be an FHA loan, where there's 100% financing and there's no monthly mortgage insurance, kind of like a VA loan.
All right, cool. So we're kind of like shifting the same idea of like the VA loan benefits to public service members like firefighters and policemen.
Yep.
Fantastic.
And teachers.
And teachers.
And EMTs and paramedics.
And especially here in St. Augustine, we've been hearing about some of these new affordable housing developments that are going on. There's even one right down the street. I forget the name of it, Victoria Crossing maybe. But that one just opened up, and that's exactly the type of people that they want to help when we create these affordable housing developments, especially in these areas when so many things are popping up that are so expensive, honestly, you know?
Well, I have
it's
two
hard.
Great St. Augustine stories.
Yes? Tell me a St. Augustine
so one
story
would
or
be
two.
Sheriff Hardwick is very behind the Helper Act.
Hardwick, yes, we had his sign in our front yard.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So he's very behind it. He's been a great supporter for years with regard to it, the legislation passing. The legislation actually started with Congressman Rutherford, who used to be the sheriff of Jacksonville. But as an example, it's St. Johns County, right? I had a teacher that I was trying to help here in St. Johns County, and because of affordability, she had to buy a house in Flagler County, which is a little bit more affordable, but not that much different. And I'll never forget this woman, what she said to me. Now, this woman had an 800 credit score, no debt, had $60,000 to put down, but she couldn't get a traditional FHA loan. She had to go with a conventional loan, which was fine, but her debt ratio was so high not because of her debt, but because her housing payment versus how much she made as a teacher was like close to equal. So what happens is that the Helper Act would make that housing payment lower, so she has more room. And so there, I'll never forget the words she said. She said she actually had a job offer from another school district that would pay her more. And she said, I can't leave my kids in the middle of the school year. So that's the type of individual that Helper is to serve. It is something that there are so many people in our community that care, just like a military member cares. They sign on a dotted line, they care, and they don't get paid a lot. So we need to try and do something to help them with affordability.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, that actually did happen. My daughter just had her teacher leave in the middle of the year, and she kind of said something similar where she was like, well, I've just got my job this year in St. Johns County, but I actually live in Flagler County. She was never at any of the after school events or anything because, you know, it takes her a whole hour round trip to get here and back home. So if they were doing an event at 5 o'clock, she's like, well, I'm just going to go home and not do the event, whatever. But then she ended up leaving right around Christmas time because she said, oh, I was able to get a job back with Flagler County again. And I realized that I need to be closer to home because honestly, even the travel is getting pretty bad these days, especially if there's just one car accident on the highway, then you're late for the entire day.
Yeah, and Senator Rubio, actually, when he was still senator, now that he's Secretary of State, he said it best. He said, you know, if we can't have the people that serve in our communities that actually buy in our communities, it makes communities less safe, less teachers involved in activities. You know, there's so many positives to why it should happen. And it really, it cracks me up because I've been fighting for this for years. And, you know, a lot of politicians, unfortunately, this doesn't cost the taxpayer money. It costs nothing for the taxpayer, actually. And it serves a sector of society that people say they love. They wave flags, they do everything. But when you ask them to put their name on a bill, it's such a different conversation you have to have. So yeah.
All right. So to bring together this community here in St. Augustine, what can we do as individuals to help with the Helper Act? Is there anywhere we can go to?
Well, we're fortunate because right now we have Congressman Rutherford. He's the leader of the bill, and he's an amazing leader, an amazing man. So he's leading the charge. Now, most likely, I'm preemptively saying that Randy Fine will most likely be the next congressman in Flagler and part of St. Johns County. So hopefully Congressman Fine, if he does get elected, which seems like he will ultimately join the bill as well. And it's more just that grassroots. Now, as many people are not flow grown, they're not from Florida, they have families everywhere else. So as an example, I'm from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the congressman there, Ryan McKenzie, most likely I will reach back out from the roots of where I'm from to try and get a meeting with Ryan McKenzie to get him on the bill. So if you're from Texas, if you're from Kansas, if you're from anywhere, you probably still have family back there that can go advocate and get those local individuals on board. And that's how the grassroots effort works. And at the end of the day, it just feels good to fight for people that matter.
That's great. We love to hear stuff like that. Thank you very much, Sam.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Been
you.
a fun fight.
Yeah. All right. So we'll catch you next time. If you want to share anything else about the Helper Act.
And I mean, I talk about it all the time, so it's easy to talk about. I mean, we can do updates. The big thing, just for the people that are watching, with especially the military, the VA loan, hands down, is the best financing out there. Helper would be a close second to that.
Is that available now? That is available
VA
now?
is good to go, yeah.
The Helper Act is available?
No, so we still have to get it passed in Congress, so we're still fighting for it.
Oh, okay.
And once it is, then it'll take about a year for them to implement it under FHA, but that's why we started this fight 4 years ago, and unfortunately, because of politics, it got political. But champions like Sheriff Hardwick and others, that have gotten behind it have helped us advance it to where it's at. Now we just got to get over the finish line. So.
Fantastic. So is there any sort of local to either St. Johns County or Flagler County, and I know Duval County, some of them have some benefits for some of our helper population? Yeah,
so like the Hometown Heroes program, unfortunately that sometimes is funded, sometimes it's not funded, so it just depends. And a lot of those programs too, it's great that they get you into a home, and it's very important that that happen. A lot of times you want to make sure, though, it really is in the financial best interest of the person. So as an example, I've had individuals, actually one state you just mentioned, where your husband's hunting, they have a down payment assistance program. When I presented the Helper Act to the congressman and showed them the difference, a $225,000 house, their down payment assistance program was $300 more a month than what the Helper Act would do. So that was pretty straightforward. Okay, this is a simple thing to get on. Well, that individual congressman did not get on the bill. And I think it was, again, it's a lot of politics. So to answer your question, there are programs out there. Just depends too, the person, their overall situation has to fit. Because like we talked a little bit about debt ratios, how much you make compared to how much you pay out. That is going to determine a lot of if you can qualify for those. So,
yeah, as a realtor, I do hear about the financials from my customers, and sometimes some of the numbers to me personally don't make too much sense. So if you or someone you know have any interest in learning more about some of the benefits that Florida could offer you or your local county, Sam is our expert, and he's waiting for you to call him. Here's his information, and you can call him or email him or text him, or you can just beep at him when you see his van as pictured here. And I love is it here? Is it here today?
Yeah, it sounds like.
Yes, we're going to take some pictures.
That's like my
We're going to do a photo shoot by the van. It's going to be fun. And yeah, we're so happy to finally see you again. It's been too long. And we're going to do a workout one of these days at 6 o'clock in the morning in the parking lot. But until then, thank you very much.
Good seeing you guys.
Good to see you.
And thanks for having me.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you later.
Here in St. Augustine. Living the dream like a queen, as you should. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a queen, but yes. As a king.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. I hope you found inspiration today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more wellness tips. If you didn't enjoy it, thumbs up and subscribe anyways. But until next time, embrace every moment and live the dream with the Shah of Saint Augustine. Bye!